the University of Ottawa. Good morning, Dr. Ray.
Good morning.
Where is yours on the scale of 1 to 10, your optimism today after what the last 24 hours?
It's at a 7.5. I'm pretty
Hey,
optimistic. Yeah,
I love
maybe even higher. Of course, I'm an optimistic guy by nature. And here's why I'm optimistic. The modeling is interesting. It shows us that we have probably peaked, and we kind of knew that a week ago, and that we have a shot at driving this thing down quite precipitously over the next few weeks. So the shot at having a normalish looking summer, or at least a more comfortable summer, looks quite real right now.
So what made the difference? Stay-at-home order?
Yes, absolutely. So this didn't happen by accident. This was not a seasonal thing, as many people want to insist. This was the result of a change in human behavior. So the schools closing was a big part of it. People not interacting, not going to work necessarily. That helped a lot. But we can still do better. Here's the problem, is while the cases are coming down, and they will come down rapidly, they're still quite high. Hospitalizations are coming down. But ICU usage remains high and will remain high. It is a lagging indicator. And in the best case scenario, we're still going to see at least 500 people, COVID patients, occupying the ICUs by the end of May. That's way too high. That sounds like a small number, but actually that's scratching our capacity. So that crisis is still maintained. But the ramp to normal is now in sight, especially with this news of the more rigorous and aggressive vaccine rollout. That's our path to keeping the numbers low. But again, we look around the world and we see the crisis globally, of course, has not abated.
So here in Ontario, it's mid-May when it's supposed to be lifted potentially. We've got the long weekend a week later. Should we just extend it until May 25th?
Well, I'm the big buzzkill, and I say yes. I don't make policy, though, but the responsible thing would be to hold it down. Because, look, what we're risking here is, again, a comfortable summer. Why risk all that just for a weekend of fun? It makes no sense to me, right? Especially since if we can just, slow things down further to get those shipments of vaccines, then we have a better shot.
Okay, Dr. Deonandan, we just got the numbers. In the province, 3,887. So we're up near 4 again. After a low day yesterday, since the lowest in Ottawa since the 1st of April, we're back up. So it was 118 yesterday, 196. We're on the cusp of 200 again. What does that tell you, Dr. Ray?
I want to say that's just noise in the system, and it might be. I don't look at the day-to-day numbers very closely. I look at the trends. The wastewater seems to show, and look at it one more time, that we are coming down. So that suggests to me that this is just, again, noise in the system. And I always look at the wastewater. It's probably the most objective signal, at least for Ottawa. And we're well on the way down here. So it reminds us that the crisis isn't over. But we take away from this that there is progress being made. That's the important sign of all this. And by the way, we did this together, right? This is not something, again, that magically happened. This happened because citizens, residents did their job and reduced our contacts.
We all had a sigh of relief, collective, across the province when we heard yesterday this, rollout plan. Everyone over the age of 18 will be eligible for an appointment and vaccine by the end of May.
Yeah, that's good. Sorry,
it's ambitious. I was going to say it's ambitious, but do you think we can make it? Can we actually meet that plan?
Well, being eligible is different from being booked and is different from getting shots in arms. So we can book the shots. It'll take weeks, if not months, to get them into arms. That's the challenge here. So are we up to the challenge? I've been saying for months that we are up to it, but I've been wrong every step of the way.
Well, I think we were thrown a curveball with the variants of concern.
Yes.
Right?
No, but when I was saying I've been wrong in terms of the efficiency of the vaccine uptake and rollout.
Yeah.
I don't mean to point fingers there. People are human.
Well, I will. The pharmacies didn't go as well as we'd hoped. Chaotic was the word that the mayor and Mr. DeMonte used yesterday. And meanwhile, our city clinics are doing well. And I was suggesting, and maybe you want to weigh in on this, is we know we have more coming to the pharmacies. We're paying, $13 per every vaccine administered. Why don't we just give that supply to the city, and they seem to be doing a much better job, and just get it done faster and cheaper?
Yeah, I think there's room here for all the solutions to be explored. Family doctors should be doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't get...
Hey, my dentist told me yesterday that they're trying to get the dentists, because it's happening in other provinces, and there's pushback that the dentists are saying, we'll do it too.
Yeah, I don't see why not. They have the storage capacity, they have the training, they have the phlebotomy experiments, the experience. That is the word, by the way. Phlebotomy, it's a fun word.
Yeah.
I mean, family doctors have a long history of giving shots, and you go there to talk to them about your adverse reactions and your concerns, and they can give it to you on the spot if you accept it. So it's a strange thing to me that we're not using the full capacity of our medical infrastructure to make this happen.
Let's talk about the possibility of the 4 month between doses and that time getting shorter and shorter with this supply. Is that something we can also look forward to, or am I a little too optimistic?
It's a tough one, you know. I would say no, only because the priority still remains getting one shot into as many people as possible. But the possibility is always there, you know, and there is sufficient pushback from many people to suggest that maybe that will be a priority at some point. I think it should be a priority for certain subpopulations, like the extreme elderly, the immunocompromised, cancer patients, and so forth. There is some evidence that immunosenescence, as we call it, is a thing. So some people need to get their doses on schedule. But for most people, it shouldn't be that much of an issue. But it's a policy decision that I cannot predict.
Yeah.
What I think I can predict, though, is that we'll probably see mix and matching, you know, like being boosted by a vaccine that is not the one you took for your prime dose. And there's
You know,
sufficient scientific evidence that that would be rational.
I got a text exactly this issue, and it sums up how a lot of people are feeling. 6 week between the doses sounds like a good idea for the government. What they're doing, according to this texter, is pulling off the labels of the vaccine, and hopefully it'll be good. And then concludes with, I now understand what lab rat feels like.
I understand that feeling, and there is some truth to it, but this is an unprecedented global public health emergency. And we have to take our mindset out of the idea that we're looking for perfect personal protection. We're looking to drag the society out of the muck. And to drag society and the population out of crisis means doing some things that maybe are a bit less grounded in best evidence. So I'm sympathetic to the government for making this call. I think it was the right call, to be honest. But I would like to see more measures being taken to protect the supposedly and possibly immunocompromised, like the extreme elderly, to make sure that they get their doses on schedule.
We're going to take the 7.5 on the optimism scale, and we're going to run with it. Go into the weekend. Thanks, Dr. Ray. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.